Welcome to my channel Soumya Study Circle. Today I want to discuss with you some previous year UGC NET Paper 2 Journalism and Mass Communication questions. The first question is, in non-verbal communication, signs signify what? There are four options: nature, crime, rigidity, constructs. But the answer is constructs. Okay? मैं इसे रेड मार्क कर दिया तो आपको ये याद करने के लिए अच्छा रहेगा और आप ये नोट भी कर सकते हो. In mass communication, messages are permanent, personal, interchangeable, and fleeting. There are four options, but the option D is our answer. Option D is fleeting. Fleeting means थोड़ी देर के लिए रहता है ये. तो मास कम्युनिकेशन में जो मैसेज आते हैं वो थोड़ी देर के लिए रहते हैं, इसीलिए इसे फ्लीटिंग कहा जाता है. और इन कम्युनिकेशन, in the third question, in communication, the critical readings are, there are four options. The options are irrational, probabilities, contradictory, and cognitive. But our answer is cognitive. Okay? Then non-verbal communication is done through which code? The options are critical, preferential, legal, and moral. The answer is, it is also D, it is moral. Non-verbal communications is done through which code? That is moral code. The first question, in non-verbal communication signify constructs. In mass communication, messages are fleeting. In communication, critical readings are cognitive. In verbal communication is done through which code? That is moral. A dynamic interaction between reader and message will result in, there are four options also: the conflict, similarity, meaning, and focus. Our answer is meaning. Okay, then the book Bias of Communication was written by whom? The options are Harold Innis, Hubert Gans, G.R. Leduc, J.S. Boyle. The first one, A, is the answer. Harold Innis. Harold Innis wrote that book, Bias of Communication. The question number 7, an interview is a type of dyadic communication, multiadic communication, mass communication, or none of the above. An interview is a type of dyadic communication. Dyadic communication means being a group. Then in question number 8, in analog mass communication, contents are linear and dash. Contents are linear and dash, that is static. The answer is static. In analog communication, contents are linear and static. In question number 9, the rhetoric as the basis of better communication was emphasized by whom? Wilbur Scrum, Aristotle, Barlow, Newcomb. Our answer is Aristotle. Then question number 10, two-step flow of communication argues that option A, people are not isolates. B, people live without communication. C, people mass media nexus. D, people are not the subjects in communication. The answer is people are not isolates. The first one, people are not isolates. Then the major strategy of participatory communication, the options are government scheme, top-to-down approach, information dissemination, dialogue. Answer is dialogue. So the major strategy of participatory communication is dialogue. Then question number 12. Usually, a large number of people are involved in message production in the options are the interpersonal communication, group communication, mass communication. The answer is mass communication. D is the answer, mass communication. The verbal code for communication is visual code, color, language, or picture. That is language. The answer is language. Then the author of well-known communication book, Process and Effects of Mass Communication is, who is the author of Process and Effects of Mass Communication? The answer is Wilbur Schramm. Then Dennis McGill identified the mass media function of, the options are surveillance of environment, transmission of culture, non-formal education, promotion of democratic participation. The answer is D, promotion of democratic participation. The process of School of Communication leans heavily on linguistics, applied arts, semiotics, social science. The answer is social science. Transpersonal communication is conversing with relatives, conversing with spirits and ancestors, conversing with the divine, conversing with the saints. The answer is conversing with spirits and ancestors. Then dyadic communication is the transfer of message from a person. The dyadic communication is the transfer of message from a person. The options are to another person and vice versa, to a group of persons, to a mass audience, none of the above. The answer is to another person and vice versa. Option A. Then in social corporation, the government and society collaborate through symmetrical communication, asymmetrical communication, individual communication, corporate communication. The answer is option number A, symmetrical communication. Feelings of a communicator are labeled as relational information, psychological information, personal information, social information. The answer is relational communication. Once again, I want to also revise it. The first question, in non-verbal communication, signs signify constructs. In mass communication, messages are fleeting. In communication, critical readings are cognitive. Non-verbal communication is done through the moral code. A dynamic interaction between reader and message will result in meaning. The book Bias of Communication was written by Harold Innis. An interview is a type of dyadic communication. In analog mass communication, contents are linear and static. Rhetoric as the basis of better communication was emphasized by Aristotle. Two-step flow of communication argues that people are not isolates. The major strategy of participatory communication is dialogue. Usually, a large number of people are involved in message production in mass communication. The verbal code for communication is language. The author of well-known communication book, Process and Effects of Mass Communication, is Wilbur Graham. Dennis McQuill identified the mass media function of promotion of democratic participation. The process of School of Communication leans heavily on social science. Transpersonal communication is conversing with spirits and ancestors. Dyadic communication is the transfer of messages from a person to another person and vice versa. In societal corporation, the government and society collaborate through symmetrical communication. Feelings of a communicator are labeled as relational information. Thank you.